Hi everyone, I believe that this video is going to find you well wherever you are. Let's listen to Yvonne Okwara talking about abduction. Yes, it is abduction. And she's carrying on by saying we are on a dark era.
Folks, we are back to the dark era of abductions and arbitrary arrests, when people are disappeared, missing, taken, kidnapped, abducted. And I'm not sure it is by thugs, but in some cases, the trail leads right to security officials. And yes, let's not debate this term. Those are abductions. Because, folks, there is a proper procedure to how arrests are and should be done. We all know it. What we have here with masked men in plain clothing who don't identify themselves and grab people in the dead of night or in plain daylight is just pure thuggery. And it is that thuggery that we seem to have normalized. In 2024, 14 years after the promulgation of the Constitution, political dissent, difference of opinion, and the right to gather peacefully is something that the powers that be seem to be quite uncomfortable with. You see, in a period of just 2 months, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights has recorded over 60 abductions and a record 682 arbitrary arrests. Those are not just numbers. They represent families and loved ones who are in great pain and anguish. And the incidents are as bizarre and as unacceptable as one would imagine. Take, for instance, Joseph Mwangi, a young 28-year-old who was abducted during the protests in June, blindfolded and driven to an unknown location. His family searched and searched for him for days, well beyond the 24-hour requirement to produce an arrested person in court. He was found 1 month later. 1 month later. And this was after being transferred between multiple stations. And who can forget veteran journalist Macharia Gaitho, who was abducted at, of all places, a police station. Pray tell, when they roughly bundled him into a car within the precincts of a police station, where were they taking him to? I mean, aren't suspects usually taken to a police station, being arrested, rather than away from one? And also, when in danger, don't you run to a police station for refuge, only to get abducted in one? Folks, isn't it interesting how people are abducted by unknown people, but found at police stations? I mean, are we to believe that these are thugs who are conducting these abductions, taking people, but then they take them to a police station? Isn't that curious? But yet, our security officials are much better at singing Shaggy's "It Wasn't Me" than the singer himself. DCI director, in a meeting with the Kenya Editors Guild, said that the DCI is not involved in the rampant kidnappings we've witnessed in the country. So how is it that people taken by masked men are released from police stations? But it is also what he said after that is more shocking. And allow me to quote him. He said, "I wish I knew where the missing Kenyans are." This is the man in charge of keeping Kenyans safe. He doesn't know where the missing Kenyans are, and he wishes he did. So if he doesn't know where they are, who should? Now, I note that this statement was not followed by a promise to look into the kidnappings and find the missing and arrest those who are behind the kidnappings, because obviously it's not the police. But you have a rather helpless shrugging of the shoulders. And this denial, or even worse, the silence of the police in the wake of abductions, is most worrying and rather curious. Folks, you see, it's sort of starting to become normal for us to wake up every day in this country to a hashtag on social media saying "free so-and-so." Is it normal for us to be airing stories of missing persons abducted on an almost daily or weekly basis? Jamil Longton Hashim, Aslam Longton, Bob Njagi, where are they? Almost 2 weeks later. Are the police not the least bit concerned about their whereabouts? What of the court order to produce them in court? Where is the effort to find them and others who've been abducted? How far is the investigation into finding them and dozens of others? How many witnesses have they spoken to? What leads are they chasing? Do we have any updates on this, other than their categorical denial that they are not themselves involved? And why is this starting to become such a normal occurrence in Kenya now? So the police aren't behind it. They wish they knew who was. So now, tufanye? And just today, Mr. President, I'd like to address you. You made this promise, and I quote, "Under my administration, I do not want a situation where Kenyans disappear." Mr. President, you further said, "I want to promise the people of Kenya that under my administration, there will be no Kenyans in Rivayala or any other place." Well, Mr. President, we have Okwara now, and there are families tonight who are missing their loved ones. Is this a promise you intend to keep? That's my take tonight.
Now, you've watched and listened to that video clip I've just displayed in our screen today. And that is what we want to talk about at this moment. But before I carry on, ladies and gentlemen, may I take this golden opportunity to thank you so much for your support, and also to the new subscribers. Thank you, and may God bless you. And please consider to like this video, share it to your friends, family, and relatives. Let's proceed with this discussion. Now, Yvonne Okwara is not having any grudge with the government. That is a point of clarification. She's just trying to elaborate what normally happens in this country, most so during demonstration and up to this point. There are several people being abducted. There are several people being arrested. There are several people being killed. And the government of Kenya is quiet and never come out in public and condemn this. And that is why we are now seeing these challenges. And I want to thank the Citizen TV and Yvonne Okwara group for that courage they are having. It is not all about pampering your friend or brother, but just speaking the truth, because when we are in this world, we must stand firm and work for the Lord. Even President himself yesterday said in Kisumu that he is working for the Lord. Several politicians, they normally say that. But there is something which they forget. Who are these people abducting Kenyans, arresting Kenyans, that when someone is walking or even driving, is being abducted or she's being abducted? For instance, Aoko was abducted, but Aoko's case is a little bit different because he had that it was disrespect. I don't know, whichever, someone said it, but that is none of my business. I'm just concentrating on Yvonne Okwara's remarks, on whatever Okwara is saying. The truth of the matter is that we are in dark era as someone trying to express his or her feeling, saying to the government that this is bad, this is good. He or she is being abducted. And that is what Yvonne Okwara is trying to put across for the government to understand. This is very wrong. This is very sad, because our constitution allows each and every Kenyan to express or to exercise his or her feeling, regardless on the background he or she is coming from. But we failed as a country. We failed as a country, and these are the challenges we are facing. So even Okwara is trying to border the same boat with Kenyans who are helpless, and giving the government word of wisdom on what to do on each and every abduction which majority of Kenyans are experiencing. Therefore, according to me, I don't support abduction. I don't support anything being done as described ill-mannered. That is very bad and very wrong. And to those who are doing that job, I think they should also flash back where they come from. For instance, you abduct someone's daughter or sons, planning to kill him or her. How will you feel? if it was your son, your sister or brother. We sometimes forget the privilege and the life we've been given by God, and go to an extent of having that unpassionate and compassionate heart, just demeaning ourselves and trying to humiliate our colleague for no reason. I told you that tongue is a very tiny organ in human body, but it is the most dangerous weapon or organ in human body. So again, let us try to limit our tongue, how we talk, how we speak, how we interact with people surrounding us. When it's come to the abduction, the constitution is not allowing that. Even Ruto's administration is not allowing that. And let's hope so, because the president himself normally say and emphasize that he don't allow abduction. But you see, Yvonne Okwara is taking Ruto into a very dangerous grave by exposing this and demanding action to be done in order to avoid all this drama. When you abduct innocent Kenya, or when you arrest a Kenyan who was just passing, going to Soko or going to other parts or any other function, without any summon from the DCI, then it is against the law. But you must have that warrant, arrest warrant, not just coming out. We also saw the other senator was abducted, crying like a baby. Family members, the son and daughters are crying, even the wife cursing the government for those things. And this is wrong. That is why Yvonne Okwara is coming and saying, enough is enough. Let us avoid all these dark days and focus having a dream to this our country. I think that is the best thing and the best option to be followed up. And to our police security, to our security officers, you are not doing this for favor, but just work in to the people in the country with zeal and zest. Focus and have a better future to this our country. There are rules and regulations controlling us. Follow that rule. That is what I can say, because it is very wrong and very sad. Some people are being abducted, and the result we are seeing. What happened at Quarry is unbelievable. So those are the things we must check out and come up with solution. And I also prefer that to be followed up. Bye-bye.